Welcome back to Reds Fusion LFC. Liverpool are making major moves this transfer window. From chasing Alexander Isak in a potential £120 million plus deal to eyeing a £50 million midfielder from Aston Villa and a surprise Arsenal target as Luis Diaz replacement, the Reds are building big for the future. Liverpool told to sign throwback Arsenal transfer target to replace Luis Diaz. Emile Heskey has urged Liverpool to sign one of Arsenal's transfer targets if they decide to cash in on Luis Diaz this summer. The Colombian has been the subject of interest from Barcelona and Bayern Munich this summer after lifting the Premier League title with Liverpool last season. The English club rebuffed an approach from Barca earlier in the summer and in recent days have turned down a £58.6 million bid from Bayern. Liverpool are said to be in no hurry to sell Diaz this summer, who they value at €100 million, £86.8 million, but the 28-year-old winger is said to be keen for a new challenge. With 2 years still to run on his contract, this summer could prove the ideal time to cash in on Diaz, and former Red striker Heskey believes a move could well be in Liverpool's interest. If Bayern Munich step up and are paying the right price, then I think it has to be considered, he told bestbettingsites.co.uk. Everyone is available if the price is right. I think it would be decent business if they could get a good offer in and move him on, but then the next thing to consider is who to get him in. Liverpool have already spent heavily this summer, but would be expected to dip back into the market for a replacement to Diaz should the Colombian leave. And Heskey reckons the Merseyside club should consider a move for Anthony Gordon to provide a similar pace and dynamism to Diaz down the left flank. One player I like is Anthony Gordon at Newcastle, he'd be a great option, Heskey added. He'd give you someone direct, who still understands how to take players on and beat them. He's a winger who gives you width and gets to the byline, who can entertain. We've lost that a bit and Anthony is a bit of a throwback to earlier times, but his dribbling and direct attacking gets fans off their seats. Liverpool in talks with Aston Villa over deal for £50 million midfielder. Report Liverpool's transfer moves heat up as Elliott talks begin with Aston Villa. Liverpool's summer transfer window has been anything but quiet. With around £200 million already spent on key additions like Florian Wirtz, Milos Kerkez, Jeremy Frimpong and Georgi Mamardashvili, Arne Slot's side is reshaping fast. However, as reported by Team Talk, the next move may not be an incoming but a high-profile exit, Harvey Elliott. Elliott facing exit amidst midfield competition. Elliott, just 22, had a difficult season despite Liverpool's Premier League title win. Starting only 2 league games, his future looks increasingly uncertain. With Wirtz and Mohamed Salah ahead of him, and competition likely to increase, Elliott could be tempted by a move to secure regular minutes. According to Team Talk, they've initiated contact to secure his signature, referring to Aston Villa's approach. Villa, under Unai Emery, are reportedly confident that Elliott is attracted by their ambitious project. Liverpool, meanwhile, are open to offers for the England U21 international as they look to balance their squad and finances. Villa vs West Ham in Elliott race. West Ham remain strong contenders, with Graham Potter known to admire Elliott's talents. Bundesliga clubs have also shown interest, but Villa's early move may give them the edge. Liverpool, for their part, are keen to boost their coffers for other incoming deals, with names like Hugo Ekitike and Alexander Isak mentioned as striker targets. At the back, the Reds face uncertainty over Ibrahima Konate. Mark Gahey is seen as a top candidate, with Jorel Hado and Levi Colwill also under discussion. These pursuits highlight why Liverpool are ready to listen to offers for players like Elliott, to generate funds for further strengthening. Liverpool's transfer strategy this summer is clear. Refresh the squad without compromising financial stability. Good money has already been raised from sales like Jarell Quansah and Caoimhin Kelleher, and Elliott's potential £50 million fee could open further doors. While it's never easy to part ways with a player of Elliott's promise, football is ultimately about timing and opportunity. For Elliott, this may be the moment to step out and become a key figure elsewhere. For Liverpool, it's about evolving to stay ahead. Our view, Anfield Index analysis. From a Liverpool fan's perspective, this situation feels bittersweet. Harvey Elliott has been part of the club's plans for several years, and many supporters will remember his breakthrough with real fondness. However, under Arne Slot, the squad has moved in a different direction. The arrival of Florian Wirtz has undoubtedly reshaped the creative landscape, making Elliott's path to regular starts even harder. Alexander Isak's stance on Liverpool transfer revealed as Reds consider £120 million bid. Alexander Isak's stance towards a Liverpool move has been revealed as the Reds consider a £120 million bid for the Newcastle striker. Arne Slot's side have already launched an impressive summer recruitment drive, with Milos Kerkez, Jeremy Frimpong and Florian Wirtz all arriving before pre-season. But the Reds are keen to build further on the side that coasted to the Premier League title last season, and have earmarked a striker as a position to strengthen. Isak is a player whom Liverpool have long admired, and reports suggest the Merseyside club have now approached Newcastle to sound of the possibility of a deal this summer. Liverpool are said to be willing to pay as much as £120 million for the Swede, although at this stage it appears that Newcastle are unwilling to entertain the possibility of selling their star striker this summer. Isak, who scored 23 league goals last season, has reportedly not pushed for a move as he prepares for another season back in the Champions League with Newcastle. However, transfer journalist Fabrizio Romano suggests that the 25-year-old would be open to a move to Anfield this summer if a bid came in for his services. He knows very well that Newcastle want to keep him, and he knows that Newcastle want to offer him a really important contract. At the same time, he knows that Liverpool would offer not just important money but an ambitious project, too. So Alexander Isak is not closing doors to this possibility, and Liverpool were never going to make club-to-club contact without a feeling that the player would be open to the idea of a move. Liverpool fans think they know what Virgil van Dijk said to Alexander Isak amid £125 million chase. Liverpool are on the hunt for a new forward to ensure they keep hold of their Premier League title, and Newcastle's Alexander Isak has been identified as their primary transfer target. Liverpool fans will remember how captain Virgil van Dijk exchanged words with Alexander Isak after their Carabao Cup final defeat to the Magpies back in March, as the Reds continue to chase the £125 million striker. Arne Slot's side are ramping up their bid to sign a new striker this summer after already splashing out more than £170 million on a raft of new signings. That included smashing their transfer record to secure the £116.5 million addition of Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen, and they might have to do so again if they want to bring Isak to Anfield. The Sweden international has emerged as Liverpool's next priority transfer target, but a deal looks difficult to complete, with Newcastle extremely reluctant to lose their prize striker. Alexander Isak comment speaks volumes after Liverpool's £120 million approach for Newcastle star. Alexander Isak could be denied 2 dream Liverpool shirt numbers by struggling pair. It is understood the Reds could have to spend around £125 million just to get the Magpies to consider a bid, with Slot keen to bring in a top forward to complement his already impressive attacking options. Liverpool came up against Isak in their disappointing 2-1 defeat to Newcastle in the Carabao Cup final 4 months ago. The 25-year-old found the back of the net as he netted Newcastle's second goal at Wembley and was seen speaking to Van Dijk after the game. The Dutchman had been filmed whispering in the striker's ear, and that led to wild speculation on social media among Liverpool fans. Some had theorized that Van Dijk had told him, "See you in the summer," or "See you in pre-season." Another added, "That was definitely Alex saying to Virg, see you next season. I'm so happy I could cry." If Liverpool can't get a deal for Isak over the line, they could switch their attentions to Hugo Ekitike after reportedly approaching his club Eintracht Frankfurt over a move. Newcastle have had a £70 million bid rejected by Frankfurt, who are said to be holding out for around £85 million. Liverpool target Alexander Isak already told Alan Shearer true feelings on transfer interest. Premier League record goal scorer and former Newcastle United striker Alan Shearer has already told Liverpool target Alexander Isak where he hopes his future lies. Former Newcastle United striker Alan Shearer has already told Alexander Isak he hopes his future lies on Tyneside amid interest from Liverpool. On Tuesday, it was reported that the Reds had approached to sign Newcastle's star striker, who scored 23 goals in the Premier League last term. Isak currently has 2 years left on his current deal, and Liverpool.com understands the Magpies have no intention of selling their talismanic forward. The Swede helped Newcastle win their first silverware in 70 years last season when Eddie Howe's side beat the Reds at Wembley to win the Carabao Cup. He also scored an outrageous strike against Liverpool at St James Park in December, rifling in an effort from distance in a game that finished 3-3. No formal offer has been made by Liverpool as of yet, but an interest has been expressed in securing a deal worth $161 million, £120 million, a fee Newcastle would likely reject. The development came on a busy day of transfer activity, with the Reds also rejecting an offer from Bayern Munich for Luis Diaz. While Isak is adored on Tyneside, turning down Liverpool should they come calling would be a difficult proposition for the 25-year-old. With Callum Wilson having departed on a free transfer earlier this summer, the expectation had been that Isak would don the number 9 for the upcoming 2025-26 campaign, with Newcastle having returned to the Champions League for the second time in 3 seasons. One man who knows all about wearing the number 9 is Shearer, Newcastle's record goalscorer. Speaking in January whilst working for BBC Sport, Shearer interviewed Isak about his future. "We've seen recent big-name centre-forwards sign long contracts," said Shearer to Isak, referencing Erling Haaland's Manchester City 9.5-year deal he inked back in January. "You know what's coming next," laughed Shearer, to which Isak replied, "We'll see." The speculation, does it bother you, do you enjoy it? Obviously you're doing something right if people are talking about you at other football clubs. I and the Newcastle fans won't like it, but it's a reality of football, isn't it? The more goals you score, the better you're doing, people are going to talk about other things.